Welcome to our very first big story for today. Is where we always break down the critical issues shaping our political landscape. And today we delve into the contentious topic of political cross-carpeting and its implications for Nigeria's democracy. Now, this week, the Labour Party made headlines condemning the defection of 6 lawmakers to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, including 4 representatives from the House. The Labour Party has described the defections as a constitutional violation, calling on the Speaker of the House to declare the defectors' seats vacant and vowing legal action. While some see this as a betrayal of voters' mandates, others argue it's a legitimate exercise of political freedom.
And so this morning, joining us to discuss the issues here are 2 guests with distinct perspectives. Dr. Kennedy Orikhi, a former chairmanship candidate of the Labour Party, Ego LGA, Edo State, and also Mr. Bala Ibrahim, Director of Publicity for the APC. So let's dive into the issues. Gentlemen, you are welcome. Thank you very much. Dr. Kennedy Orikhi, we're going to start with you, if you do not mind. Now, sir, the Labour Party has called these defections irrational and alien to democracy. What do you think motivates these lawmakers to actually make the move and leave the party despite the Constitution's provision on defections? Dr. Kennedy Orikhi.
Well, the truth of the matter is this. There are moral ways to look at it. There are constitutional ways to look at it. And we, coming from the background of being Labour Party members, we have our special way of looking at it. There's a provision in our law that says that when there is a crisis within political parties, it does give elected officers in the fold a leeway, an opportunity to shift base, probably to a place where such crises do not exist. The Constitution has given them that kind of leverage. And in my opinion, that is what they are looking at this point in time. All across the 36 states of the Federation, where Labour Party exists, you could see that one of the issues, the major issues, as it were, that bedevils the party across board is terrible. Let me not use that word now. Very, very ineffective leadership. A leadership that is not dedicated to the vision of this great party called Labour Party. A leadership that has come to stay and use the platform for trade and commerce. Before 2023, Labour Party was in the political backwaters of Nigerian politics. But something happened that we all know. And the general public, in the hope that there's an emergence of a political party that will bring something different from what they were used to. They were really tired of the 2 existing political parties running this country. Finally, Labour Party came. The goodwill of the people attended is coming on board properly. And everybody wanted that change. Whatever may have happened, the goodwill actually rubbed off on Labour Party. They have some elective officers at various levels across the country, which was the best outing they have had since the party was created. But what a lot of people didn't know was this. Labour Party, as it were, before the advent of Mr. Peter Obi, was a party that was fraught with leadership that used the platform to trade with the bigger political parties. Now, you would have expected now that something new has happened, people have donated contributed their goodwill to the party. The party now stands a chance. The people are looking at the party as the party that can take Nigeria out of the doldrums of economic woes and political woes. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the actors within the party still felt that they must go on trading with the platform. In fact, they saw it as a platform for larger volumes of trade. And it was just a matter of time before the leadership crisis, snowballed into what we have right now. What I'm saying in essence is that there is a leadership that is present in the party right now that necessitates this defection across board. Why others are looking at it from the constitutional point of view, from the moral point of view, we within Labour Party have seen that this has been a long way coming.
All right, Dr. Kennedy. All right.
Let me tell you,
Dr. Kennedy, just a second, Dr. Kennedy. We appreciate that, and we get the plot which you've just given us for the Labour Party since its existence. But we also have joining us Mr. Bala Ibrahim. So we want to acknowledge that first of all.
Yes, Mr. Bala, many thanks for joining us. We appreciate you for coming on, sir. I mean, I have to ask, for the APC, 6 lawmakers have now joined the APC within a week, and they're all citing internal crisis within the Labour Party and a desire to align with APC's developmental policies. I have to ask you, what does this say about the APC's appeal and President Bola Tinubu's leadership?
You're talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Mr. Bala Ibrahim.
Okay.
I'm hoping you can hear us. Mr. Bala Ibrahim, I hope you can.
Can you hear us, sir?
We might have an issue.
We have an issue with this audio there.
So I guess we're going to throw that to you, Dr. Kennedy Orikhi. Regarding this appeal for the APC by LP defectors, what do you have to say about that?
Seems to be something.
This has nothing to do with the Bola Tinubu leadership. There is nothing about Bola Tinubu leadership at the moment to take home. The effect of the Bola Tinubu's leadership on the Nigerian people right now, we do not need to go into all of that. We know what it is like. Now, these people have taken a look at Labour Party and they are convinced that it is no longer a viable platform for them to pursue their political interest come 2027.
And you have identified from earlier, sir. Dr. Orikhi, you identified from earlier that this is a leadership problem. When you say a leadership problem that's causing people to defect from the LP, exactly how do you mean the leadership problem? Are you referring to the squabbles that we experienced from the mid of this year regarding who exactly was the leader or the chairman of the LP? Does that still extend up until now, where we're made to believe that everything has been settled? Only just this week, a Labour Party member, Oyatake Ibori, also defected. So we're wondering exactly why, when they defect, they speak of instances of stifling their ability. What exactly does this mean? I'm going to come back to Mr. Bala Ibrahim, because I hear that we have him back now and we have communication with him. We were asking earlier, sir, why the Labour Party members who have defected choose to always go to the APC. What is this appeal for the APC by LP defectors? Mr. Bala Ibrahim, sir.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
I hope you can hear me, and thank you for having me. Well, when you are in the market and you have your wares, you put up your wares for sale, and customers scramble to buy. If they fall over each other to purchase, I think you should celebrate and clap your hands for producing a very good ware that is attractive to the customers. Now, as a party, the APC has programs that are being admired and appreciated by politicians from the other side of the block. And these politicians seem to be abandoning their parties for one reason or the other and coming over to the APC. I think what we should say or see is that the party is doing very well and people are being appreciative of the policies and programs of the party. So I think it is the way and manner the APC is handling and managing itself that is endearing it to the politicians from the other side or the opposition. And that is why they're coming over. And the APC and the Labour Party will not want to be left out.
But it's very interesting that you're likening the appeal of the APC to wares at a market, because it begs to ask the question: is it about really them comporting themselves in a, as you say, appealing manner that is attractive to other politicians, or is this just a power play in terms of let us align with those who are in power, and the winning party at this point is the APC? Because to be fair, the APC have been strategic when it comes to just power and making sure, not just from the center, but also at state level. We have seen both Edo, Cross River, and also Ondo State, now which was predominantly an opposition party, now APC.
Well, the position of power is very central in politics. Whoever is in politics has gone there with an ambition. The ambition is to grab or gain power so as to execute the programs he has or the party has with a view to changing the lives of the people. So the APC as a party is in power at the moment at the center, and it is doing everything to change the narrative and make people get good dividend of democracy. And in the struggle for this, other political parties, the Labour Party inclusive, are crossing over to the APC for a number of reasons, I think. One is to learn the ropes of the game, and two is to see how they can be able to achieve their mission or ambition through the policies and programs of the party, because their own party may not be giving them the desired platform
Mr. Ibrahim,
and the avenue.
You keep mentioning policies and policies and programs of the party. What are these policies and programs, might I ask?
Well, the APC is a progressive party, and it is anchored on the mission or ambition of progressivism. It is anchored on the mission of giving good dividends to the people. It is anchored on giving people good health, good facilities, good education, employment, and changing the narratives of life generally.
So, Mr. Ibrahim, how would you score the APC so far in doing those things you've just mentioned? Dividends to the people, providing amenities for the people, education and all of that. How would you score the APC so far?
Let's include the last 8 years if we're counting.
Exactly.
Well, the APC has been in power altogether for about 10 years now, close to 8 years of Buhari plus close to 2 years of Tinubu. And when you juxtapose that with the 16 years of PDP misrule, you see that it is too early to make any valid judgment.
It's been 10 years. You just noted that it's been 10 years, almost 10 years. You score the APC high. Who's scoring the APC high? Is it the politicians that are saying that the APC is doing so well, or is it the people whom they're supposed to serve? How do the people score the APC? Are they happy? Are they able to buy fuel at fueling stations or go to school? Are they able to eat twice a day? Is the APC doing well? And is this the reason why other parties are going there, because they're doing well? For who? For the politicians
for
who
their
are
political
within
ambitions?
The APC? Is that why they're running there? Or is it because they're doing well for the people? Dr. Kennedy Orikhi, let me come to you. Please, who is scoring the APC well on this ground? Why exactly are politicians moving? Is it because there's something happening good for politicians, that's why they're going there? Or is it because they genuinely see that the APC is doing well for Nigerians and they want to serve more?
I guess you know the answer to those questions.
No, I don't know. You tell us.
We're just journalists. We have no clue.
APC has done very poorly. And you don't need to come on air to say that. Go and feel the heartbeat of the average Nigerian. They know it has been from bad to worse, if we have to compare them with PD. Let me now answer your question. Why are the politicians rushing to that platform? It is not far-fetched. Today in Nigeria, what we have noticed is this. APC, INEC, the judiciary, they are a team. That team will most likely give you victory in any election. So you do not need to do well, or you do not need to want to go to APC to change the state of affairs and bring good governance to the people. Why you go to APC is because you want to win an election. And however you win that election, that is your problem. There is a team waiting for you to combat against you. The APC, the INEC, and the judiciary. Once all these people are working together, it is not easy for members of the opposition, candidates from the opposition party to win an election. You will take the last two elections as an instance. We knew the person who is now sitting as governor in the state, it was not even somebody that the people considered had the capacity to govern the state like Edo. But today, with the formula that I just mentioned to you, APC plus INEC plus judiciary, and maybe judiciary eventually, the man is sitting there. So far, it's APC versus INEC that have done their bits. The man is sitting there. So that is why these politicians are moving straight to APC, because if they don't, they feel strongly that their political prospects come 2027 will be dim. And they have no choice, they are doing it. But again, like I will always say, Labour Party has refused to manage itself very well. The goodwill they got from the people, they neglected it, and they are pursuing other things that are of no benefit to the people. And the people have in turn also drawn support, removed support from them, because they cannot bet. Sit at home, seeing that the options that are before them are not options that stand a chance of turning our country into a better place. To begin to project the story that APC is doing this, APC is doing that, I think that is just fallacious. I will not blame the publicity director for saying, oh, he's a party member, and that is what he's paid to do.
Right. Dr. Orikhi, I must, you said something, you said two things, that the APC have failed, but your members have moved to the APC. The members of Labour Party have defected to the APC, whether or not they have failed. And you also alluded that one of the reasons that you believe that they are moving there is for them to win the elections, giving your triad solution that you pulled out, which is the APC, INEC, and judiciary. Your comments, not mine. And so, with critics' argument that these lawmakers were elected on the Labour Party's platform and that defection betrays the voters who trusted them, one has to ask you, what strategy then should Labour Party employ, or how can they plan to protect its mandate moving forward, getting into 2027 for the sake of Nigerians and the party loyalists?
Thank you very much, Madam. There's an aspect of all of these we think should come to the public domain. The people must have an understanding of why Labour Party has turned out to be the way it is. There is a leadership problem. There is the issue of a single individual wanting to lord it over the party. Do you know why the people are leaving? The people say they cannot be in the same platform with this chairman. Now, what you see happening there right now is little compared to what is happening at the grassroots. The people who supported Labour Party at the grassroots are moving away in droves. That's what even hurts me, not these elected officers. The elected officers, many of them just keyed into the Peter Obi popularity to get to office. They are not the ones that we are worried about. But the ordinary man who used his sweat and resources, came to the party, did everything to help the party to climb to the level it is now. They are also moving away from the party. And why are they doing that? Because there is a certain national chairman by the name Julius Abure who has come to believe that Labour Party is private property. I will give you just an example. What Abure did to cause a lot of people unhappiness, if I may put it that way. Now, in our constitution as a party, when you are organizing your congresses, you start from the ward to the local government, to the state, and delegates who emerge from this process come together for the national convention to elect their national leaders. But Abure chose a few persons. They went to Inewi last year. They held a convention when there was no World Congress. when there was no local government Congress, when there was no state Congress. And he put his cronies together. They elected him again as national chairman. That was against what the expectations of the people. And the people on their own set up a caretaker committee, which of course, Abure went to liaise with the judiciary. The judiciary is another matter entirely. He liaised with the judiciary to give a phony judgment in his favor against our party constitution. And then, since the judiciary has given a judgment, the people now see that, why should we continue to battle so hard to remove Abure from seats when we have other options? It is one of the reasons they are going to APC. You can see that they are not going to PDP.
Dr. Kennedy Oriakhi, I'm going to have to pause you there because I have to bring back Mr. Bala Ibrahim into the conversation. Mr. Bala Ibrahim, you've heard everything that Dr. Kennedy Oriakhi has told about the LP. From what he's told, it seems there's plenty of infighting going on inside of the Labour Party itself, and it's still continuing. Plenty of disgruntled people in there who don't feel that the party is doing what it's supposed to do, especially when you remove the factor of a principal of by the name of Peter Obi. You also noted, Dr. Kennedy, that the rate of attrition for the Labour Party is high, whether it's the supporters or whether it's the politicians inside of the Labour Party. People are leaving. People are no longer supporting the Labour Party. It's no longer a beacon of hope, especially for the young people that thought, especially in the last election, that it was going to change something. So, Mr. Bala Ibrahim, I ask you, at this rate, what do you think is left of the Labour Party?
Well, nothing is left but labor. I think the people that remain there will continue to labor. I hope not in vain, but they will continue to be in labor. What they need is to have good maternity center that will deliver them without them losing too much blood and energy. The APC has established itself as a party that knows the art of politics, that knows the ropes. And it was in the opposition before. When PDP was in power, though, the APC was in the opposition. But it managed itself very well. It went on a very good drawing board and did its homework. At the end of the day, it captured power and is now teaching the opposition how to play opposition neatly, democratically, and in a way and manner that is healthy. But they don't seem to understand that. Thank God, in its wisdom, the APC has established what it called the Progressive Institute. This is an institute that intends to teach members of the APC and also extend a hand of friendship to the opposition to come and learn politics in a way and manner that is progressive and in a way and manner that will be healthy for democracy. If they want to learn, and if they want to understand and they want to remain relevant in the opposition, they are please invited to come forward. We will see what to do with regards registration fee.
Mr. Ibrahim, I'm very curious, right? And forgive me, because when we talk about democracy, a huge part of democracy is accountability, right? It's all about accountability. We must be accountable to the people. And the people who play in power, whether it's a political elite or those who are political jobbers themselves, they have to have some level of accountability. And so I have to critique this argument. Because if lawmakers, those who have been voted to represent the Nigerian people on a certain party, based off of the mandate of that party and the ethics and the ethos of that party, decide to defect to another party, right? It begs to ask a question about accountability and what exactly we're talking about when it comes to democracy. So I want to ask you what you make of this criticism. And hopefully we can be honest with ourselves, because the APC in and of itself it's a party that has metamorphosed since its inception and also has a large majority of the members of that party who have defected from the PDP and the Labour Party. What does this say about accountability for our democracy?
Well, if I understand accountability, I will say accountability is for the party in power to account for the mandate given to it, the resources that are entrusted on it, to be used judiciously in a way and manner that will be of benefit to the people. But it is not the ambition of accountability for the party in power to be accountable to the quantity and quantum and quality of the people in the opposition party. If they want to defect, it is not the responsibility of the party in power to stop them from defecting, because the party does not want to see to the loss of their numbers. We are not supposed to be accountable to their numbers, neither are we supposed to be accountable to the quality of their members. That is supposed to be their responsibility. But as a party, we are accountable, and we are supposed to be held accountable to the resources that are entrusted on us in governance and the way and manner these resources are used. Are they being used judiciously, or they are being used recklessly? If they are used recklessly, yes, the people have a right to ask. So the APC has been entrusting and has been entrenching good governance in power. It has been advocating. In fact, part of the reforms now that have been introduced by the Tinubu administration includes the reform for good governance, the reform for fairness in the judiciary, the reform for fair use of resources. They are overall...
Mr. Ibrahim, if we split the screen, fantastic, into four screen, we can see that...
Give the system, everyone that is in the position is held accountable.
Right. So accountability, right? But then again, there is a voter trust. If a voter has trusted you to vote on you based off of the ethos and the ethics and the tenets of a particular party, then why then move base? And what does it say about voter trust? But I have to ask you, and I'm throwing this question at both of you, and I'll start with you, Dr. Orikhi. If a member decides to defect from the APC to the Labour Party, are there checks and balances for each party? Let me start with you, Dr. Orikhi, and then come to you, Mr. Ibrahim. Mr. Orikhi, you have the floor very quickly because we're pressed for time.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the Constitution speaks very, very eloquently on these issues, and they should be followed. But if I have to talk to you as a Labour Party member, the truth remains that our party is in disarray at the state levels, local government level, and even at the national level. And there's a loophole created also by the law for persons who are operating on these platforms to find a way to project themselves. And I think that is where these elected officers have gotten their verve. But actually, you see, a Labour Party is supposed to be a party for the people, but like I said before, the leadership has done something to it that is no longer able to perform at that level and is no longer able to win the trust of the people. But on the issue of accountability, there is hardly anything we can do concerning these members now, because, in my opinion, they have a ground for doing what they have done. There is a leadership present at the state, at the national level, that has caused chaos all around the states.
All right, Dr. Orikhi.
The people are not happy.
All right, Dr. Orikhi, notes that we're out of time. So, Mr. Ibrahim, let's come to you and ask you the same question. How does the APC filter what it might have referred to as bad elements coming into that party from the LP?
Well, no matter how bad these elements are, provided they wish to join the APC, when they come to the APC, they have to play by the rules of the party. They have to play the game according to the way the party wants the game played. So they will be refined, they will be trained, they will be polished, they will be made to understand that ours, or the APC's, is progressive politics, not retrogressive politics they were playing. And the programs and policies of the party are such that will make them to be better politicians, and they will see that being in power does not necessarily mean you have to be reckless. No, you can be in power and still remain accountable judiciously to the people and to those that voted you. So if they come into the APC, they will be made to be better politicians in future.
So the APC will not close its doors to any member of the LP, no matter their character from before. Its doors are open. Is that what you're saying?
Well, certainly, provided he or she will drop the Labour Party character, drop the Labour Party card, and drop the attitude of confrontation. That intransigent attitude they were displaying at Labour Party must be dropped, and they take a polished and politically polished in particular attitude that will be progressive. Yes, and the APC will treat them that this is a party that is intended and is willing to provide democratic dividends to the people and wish to remain in power for as long as the people wish.
As the Director of Publicity for the APC, I'd like to ask you one final question. What do you think the people feel about the APC so far the past almost 2 years? Just trying to check on reality here.
Well, there is anger in the land, I won't deny that. There is pain in the land, I will not deny that. But this anger and pains are pursuant to the reforms that are introduced by the party, courageously introduced by the president, which previous leaders have been uncomfortable to introduce, or they have not been as courageous as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. Now, these changes are coming at a time that people are not expecting them, but there are changes that must happen if we want to move forward. Believe you me, the people will appreciate the introduction of these changes with time. So for now, I will tell you, yes, some people are complaining, not just some people, a lot of people are complaining, including me. But we are complaining with optimism that there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. And we are appealing to the people to bear more. The result of these changes will be in the interest of the country, and it will be ovation at the end of the day.
I wonder if it's the interest of the country for the opposition to be diminishing or diminishing with every second of every day. I wonder if it's for the interest of our democracy or for the nation. But gentlemen, it's been sublime. Thank you so much for your perspectives on this this heated topic. It's clear that, of course, the debate is very important to steer clear and just pave the way for our democracy. Many thanks to you, Dr. Kennedy Orikhi, and also to you, Mr. Bala Ibrahim, from the Labour Party and from the APC. Many thanks. We appreciate you.